Hi, I'm Aryana, and this is the story of my love affair with this book. Robert Brockway gave birth to the Unnoticeables, which is the first book in the Vicious Circuit series. The Unnoticeables, it's about angels and demons, except they're the same thing. So he paints this picture of how the world is this technical problem through brash explanations, horrifying images, and relatable, if not slightly dark comedy in the face of it all. So you have the story which is told in three perspectives. Carrie, smack in the middle of the 1970s New York punk scene. You also have Caitlin, who is a stunt woman in Hollywood circa 2013, and interspersed between these two perspectives are chapters told by this unidentified, mysterious character. So, Carrie, he just wants to live, he wants to drink cheap beer and go to concerts, but he ends up tangled with these kids whose faces he just can't seem to remember, and a psychopathic Iggy Pop character, because his friends just keep on getting kidnapped. Meanwhile, Caitlin is supposed to just accompany her best friend to this networking party, but ends up being attacked by a former teen heartthrob, and her best friend's missing next morning. On top of that, we have our mysterious John Doe, who in turns make us feel confused, but also an aching sadness as he battles himself with staying sane and humane, or turning to something that's more calculated and cold. Brockway has this way of writing which is blunt and beautiful, it's honest. He has this witty sense of humor that is cynical and hopeful in turns, relatable and self-depreciating, with shameless jabs at the ridiculousness of society. He'll punch a laugh out of you, and at the same time you'll find yourself cringing away from the gorish, almost explicit, entirely gruesome scenes that makes itself known in the story quite frequently. One of my favorite scenes in this book is when Randall, a friend of Carrie, lights this tar man on fire in order to save Carrie's life. So Carrie finds himself in a situation where he is helpless, he can't run and he can't fight back. And so he's in this state of panic, and then suddenly there's a bright flash of light, he's on fire, and then he's not on fire because Randall pees him out. So as you're going through this scene, which is only 2 to 3 pages, you are sent through this array of emotions: fear, panic, and then relief, and then humor at the end of it. At a speed so alarming, it's like you're on a Ducati superbike. And yet it feels natural, because in life we experience emotions not one by one. Sometimes they get mixed up so badly that you can't even comprehend what you're feeling. And at the end of it all, you're faced with this mental picture of a grown man panicking and peeing on his friend who's on fire to extinguish the fire. And it's just hilarious. You'll laugh at least out of relief. I think this book is brilliant, but I understand that it's not a one-size-fits-all sort of book. It's definitely not suitable for children, and some might not like the gore or the horror, or maybe they'll get the humor or think it's a bit crass or inappropriate. So you might ask, why? Why this book? Why not something more popular or family-friendly at least? I love this book so much because it reminds me of being human, especially now since we have to stay at home. It reminds us that humans, we are weak, we are flawed, and we are insecure, and we sometimes stay recklessly unmoving just to annoy everyone else. But at the same time, we can be strong and tough, writhing and fighting, laughing in the face of cosmic horrors we can't even begin to understand, just out of the loyalty to the people we care about. So, if you love urban fantasy, horror, fast-paced action, maybe you have a soft spot for dark comedy, or you find comfort in pop culture references, do take a look at this book. Maybe go out for dinner, go dancing, have a couple of drinks, and you might find yourself in love. Thank you.